Do we have cartels?
Right.
Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Behan Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Behan Jana Vallabha Shivarada Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Shivarada Yasodhana Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottanam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jamudirayat Nastapresu Abhatresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhakti Naistike. We are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 16, the Payavrata process of worship, text 21. I read the Sanskrit and then we can together repeat the word for word translation. Savidasyati te kamam harir dinanukampana amoha bhagavat bhaktir natareti matir mama. Word for word translation, please repeat. Saha,
Saha,
he,
Vasudeva,
Vidasyati, will undoubtedly fulfill. Te, your, Kaman, desires. Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dina, unto the poor. Anukampana, very merciful. Amoga, infallible. Bhagavat Bhakti, devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Na, not itara, anything but Bhagavad Bhakti. Iti, thus, matihi, opinion. Mama, my. Translation and purport by Abhaichara Vinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is very merciful to the poor, will fulfill all your desires. For devotional service unto him is infallible. Any method other than devotional service is useless. That is my opinion. Purport. There are three kinds of men who are called Akama, Mokshakama, and Sarvakama. One who tries to get liberation from this world is called Mokshakama, and one who enjoys this material world to its fullest extent is called Sarvakama, and one who has fulfilled all his desires has no further material desires is called Akama. A bhakta has no desires. Sarvapadi vinirmuktam tat paret vana nirmalam. He is purified and free from all desires. The Mokshakami wants to achieve liberation by merging into the existence of the Supreme Brahman, and because of this desire to merge into the existence of the Lord, he is not yet pure. And since those who want liberation are impure, what to speak of the karmis who have so many desires to fulfill? Nonetheless, the Shastra says, Akama sarvakama va mokshakama udara diti vrena bhaktiriyogena ichaita purusham param. Whether one desires everything or nothing, or desires to merge into the existence of the Lord, is intelligent only if he worships Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by rendering transcendental loving service. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.10. Kashyapa Muni saw that his wife Aditi had some material desires for the welfare of her son, but still he advised to render devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, everyone, regardless of whether he is a karma, jnani, yogi, or bhakta, should invariably take shelter of the lotus feet of Vasudeva and render transcendental service unto him, so that all his desires will be duly fulfilled. Krishna is Dina Anukampan. He is very merciful to everyone. Therefore, if one wants to fulfill his material desires, Krishna helps him. Of course, sometimes, if a devotee is very sincere to the Lord, as a special favor to him, refuses to fulfill his material desires and directly blesses him with pure unalloyed devotional service. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 22, text 33-39, Krishna Kai Amabache Mahe Vishaya Sukha Amrita Jai Visamahe Ebadamukha Ami Vishya Mukhe Vishaya Kene Deepa Svacharanam Rita Diya Vishaya Bulaiba. Krishna says, if one engages in my transcendental loving service, but at the same time wants the opulence of material enjoyment, he is very, very foolish. Indeed, it's just like a person who gives up ambrosia to drink poison. Since I'm very intelligent, why should I give this full material prosperity? Instead, I shall induce him to take the nectar of the shelter of my lotus feet and make him forget illusory material enjoyment. If a devotee maintains some material desire and at the same time very sincerely desires to engage at the lotus feet of Krishna, Krishna may directly give him unalloyed devotional service and take away all his material desires and possessions. This is the Lord's special favor to devotees. Otherwise, if one takes to Krishna's devotional service, but still has material desires to fulfill, he may become free from all material desires, as Dhruva Maharaj did but this way takes some time. However, if a very sincere devotee wants only Krishna's lotus feet, Krishna directly gives him the position of Sudha Bhakti, unalloyed devotional service. I read the verse again. Savitta sati te kamam haritinan kampana amoga bhagavat bhaktir netareti matiramama. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is very merciful to the poor, will fulfill all your desires, for devotional service unto him is infallible. Any method other than devotional service is useless. That is my opinion. Om Ajnana Timandasya Jananjana Shaka Shakshun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Chaitanyamanopistam staptam yena bhutale shvam rupakadamayam dadati sva padantikam bandhyam shiyo shiyuda padakamalam shigoram vaishnavam sa shirupam jagatatam saganaragnatam vitam tam sajivam sadvaitam savdutam parjanasaitam sa krishna chaitanya devam Shri Radha Krishna padan saganalita shivishakam vitam sha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dino Bandhu Chatpate Gopesha Gopkakanta Radhakanta Namastate Tapta Kansna Gauranki Radhe Vrindavaneshvre Vishabhana Sudevi Pranamama Hri Pre Vankha Kalaptrubhisha Kripa Sinve Visha Padnam Pavanvyo Vaishnavyo Namo Nama Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paskachai Desatarani Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So the Lord is Dina Anukampana. Dina Anukampana. The poor and the fallen, Dina Anukampa, is very merciful to those who are poor and feel fallen. Feel fallen means humble. And then we have also in the Sanskrit the word amoga. Amoga means sinless. So both his wives, these two wives of Kashyapa Muni, he gave them different processes, but so to Aditi and Diti, that we have here the story. This is Aditi, right? The mother of the demigod, who is complaining that, yes, my sons have been thrown off heaven and I want to restore it. That's a material desire. She wanted that, and of course, that Diti was different, and that her desire was to kill Indra, because she was thinking he's the cause that my sons have been killed by the Supreme Lord, because the Lord appeared to support Indra, so that, and therefore she asked him, please tell me how to kill him. But he gave them both a different process, but it was both devotional service. That the same process of Bhakti Yoga, worship of the Lord. So we know what at the end of Canto 6, and here in the 8th Canto, we see both stories. That So we see that Dhruva Maharaj, he wanted a kingdom greater than his great-grandfather, Brahma. But he did not want it anymore when he was purified. But because he had desired it, the Lord said, yes, you desired it and I fulfill your desire. Now you have to be the king for 32,000 years first. Of the king of the universe, the ruler of the universe for 32,000 celestial years. But we see another story we find in the 11th canto, the story of the Avanti Brahmin. Avanti Brahmin was taking away everything and he became purified. So that's another story. So, of course, we can say, do we want Krishna to fulfill our material desires and then we go back to Godhead? Is that how we want that Krishna treats us? Or do we want to take the shortcut, right? So that's the point Srila Prabhupada is making in this purport. We can go back in the first way, but it takes longer. We may still have so many desires to cultivate them, and then I want this and that. Yeah. Otherwise, Krishna, yeah. If we cultivate these material desires, Krishna will fulfill them. And we stay here. This is a wish fulfilling tree. Oh, yes. That he fulfills the desires according to that what we deserve. So that's an important point. We have so many desires. We may think, yes, I'm now in this country, I go into another country. At the other side, the grass looks greener, but it's the same thing. I'm coming in so many places and I see in places where there is a lot of opulence, people are more distressed than in so-called poor people. Unlike what, there was a study done by an investigation in which country are the most happy people. And the result was Bangladesh. That's 40 years ago, they were the most happy people. I don't know, you are from Bangladesh?
Well, Calcutta.
Yeah. Now Prabhupada is coming from Calcutta.
My ancestors were
from Bangladesh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. My Gurumach was also born in Bangladesh. My son is also born in Calcutta, Bangladesh. In Calcutta. Yeah. It's interesting. So, but even if desires are there, we can be detached from them in a subtle sense. It's not easy when we have desires just to cut them off. It's difficult. We can try to cut them off by our intelligence, and we do like they are not there, but it's not so simple. Yeah. Srila Prabhupada explains in the 4th canto in one of his purports, the best treatment for the mad mind, which is the sitting place of all desires, is neglect. That we should learn. Neglect. That will not be easy. If desires are too strong, then the mind, and you neglect them, the mind becomes very sour, and it's difficult to live with. That, so the mind may say, yes, I want sweets, I want sweets, I want sweets. And you can say, no. Then the mind becomes very sour. Prahlad Maharaj told me, if you have such a mind, then you say to the mind, I will give you a bit, but that's it. That's it, just a bit of sweet. But anyway, you can try. But at least if desires are there, we can decide not to cultivate them. Not encouraging the desires to grow. Don't give them attention and so on. That think again, if we have a good sadhana in the morning, and we have a good japa absorbed, and you get the spiritual strength to do that. If there's no sadhana, no way to control the mind of neglected desires or some. You don't have just the power. That. So Dina Anukampam. What's the opposite of being poor? Dina Anukampam. Is thinking oneself of possessing so much, and that is the definition of pride. I have so much, this and that. Yeah, thinking this is mine. So, thinking of household life is basically meditating on the enjoyments available in household life. Thinking it to be the purpose of existence. This means that one's consciousness is not exalted if one thinks like that. So in the third canto, there's Kapila Muni in the third canto explains that to worship the deity without respecting all living entities is a materialistic devotee, or almost a devotee, a Prakriti Bhakta. That's in the third canto. Of course, we have that also in the 11th canto, the Kanishta, but this here it's called Prakriti Bhakta. So I worship the deity, but no one else. That and one makes offenses. One does not know who is advanced, who is not advanced. If one does not know who is advanced, who is not advanced, then one makes offenses. That. So in the Shastra, there is so much emphasis on this point to respect all living entities. All living entities. Not only the members of my tribe, not only humans, but all living entities are worthy to give respect, because Krishna is in everyone's heart. So Kashyapa Muni has given here a simple description. Lord Vasudeva, who is in everyone's heart, has to be pleased. So that is more or less the essence of this purport. Yes. Akama, Sarvakama, Moksha Kama, Dharati, Tivrena Bhakti Yoga, Chaita Purusham Param is in the purport. That's, yeah, whether one is full of material desires. If one is full of material desires and worship the Lord, then we will become purified from them. But the point we have been discussing is, okay, we will be purified, but what to do in meantime with these desires? That's Prabhupada say neglect. Neglect, first thing. Second point is don't cultivate them. Don't meditate on them. So neglect and don't meditate on them. So that is a life's mission to do that, because these material desires come back again and again to torture us, thinking, yes, if I can give my body all comforts and so on, then I will be happy. Sometimes, yeah, of course, Krishna helps devotee to see a reality. Sometimes it's very hard. That's yes. That's like a devotee is thinking, I'm going to buy a motorbike, but then I remember when I was in Czech Republic, they brought me with the car from one point to another, and on the way I saw a motorbike on the street, an accident, and the man was lying there with a broken leg and so on. And then you think maybe better no motorbike. So Krishna gives you experiences, and that helps. You have a desire to drive a car, and then think about all these accidents that you have seen and so on. And then the insurance you have to pay, you have to work for it, and so many things. And finally, you don't need it. You can find other ways. That's, of course, if you need it, that's something else. But that's the point. Make your life more simple. That don't live to work, work to live. And always organize your life as such. Make a list of where can I save energy and so many things. That go over your expenses and what do I don't need? What do I really don't need? But to have a simple life. And you cut them out. Cut them out, and you will be much more peaceful. You don't need them. We don't need television and all these things. Also, your subscription for television, put it out. We don't need it. It's very dangerous, all these things. And so many things. Yeah. Someone is coming to cut my grass. You do it yourself. It's a good exercise. So basically, simplify your life where it can. So that you can concentrate more on spiritual life, on the essence. That's the third verse of the Bhagavatam Chapter Sloki. One should use one's life in all circumstances, in all times, to inquire about the absolute truth. And then it's said in the Bhagavatam, in the second chapter of the first canto, the Labo Jiveta, this verse, one should organize one's life to have a simple life for hiding. So that's the message. That then these material desires will be minimized, you will have much less worries to do this and that. And yeah, live simple, be practical. That so don't cultivate these material desires. So one way I propose to diminish them, that's simplify your life and just cut out what you don't need, what's really not necessary. There are many things that we can cut out. Save energy. Don't heat a room where you are not. That's not necessary. That heat, but necessary, because you have to pay for all these things. You have to work for this. That all things you can, Lakshmi can be used for devotional service in so many ways. And don't cultivate material desires. Cultivate means Amazon, you order something, and then they send you suggestions, this and that, and don't look at that. It's not necessary. You have already what you need. No need to go to that. That's all a waste of time. That if you go to the shop, you make your list before. That's what I need. And you are not going to buy something else. Just do that. And you gain so much time. Well, I'm trying to give practical suggestions to not to cultivate these material desires. That yes, that's we will become purified for them, but if you start to meditate on it, Krishna will fulfill them. Does not mean you don't have to work for it. That's another thing. But of course, yes, these are things we should seriously consider. So any questions, suggestions, comments? Yes?
Maharaj, since we have free will, we can desire whatever we want.
Yeah.
So if we realize we have some desire and we think about this and we see that this will be impediment for my spiritual progress or slow me in spiritual progress,
Yeah.
can we say, okay, I don't want this? Is it in our will or does this desire ruling our life?
Yeah, that's the point. Are the desires ruling our lives? If we are not Krishna conscious, yes, sure. But when you become Krishna conscious, you get the power to neglect them, to do something about it. It's not easy. I try to give some suggestions how to do that. But yes, that's the point. We are ruled by these material desires, and that's called lust, and that's the problem. That's the greatest obstacle. Therefore, we must be ruled by the desire to serve Krishna. Means change our desire. If that's not possible, dovetail our material desires in the service of Krishna. That's another method. Another method is neglect them. Not always possible. But there are so many considerations about time, place, time, and circumstances. But when we hear the Bhagavatam and we hear these classes and so on, we get a good idea what to do about it. And we try our best. And to become free from material desires, it takes usually some time.
Srimad Prabhupada said, when you get mercy from Lord Nityananda, he said, no more material desires.
Yeah, sure.
So it looks easy. We just go to Lord Nityananda and ask him, can you please give me mercy.
Yeah, you can ask him. Let me know how it goes. But yeah, of course, we pray to Lord Nityananda that I'm the most fallen. So therefore, please give me your mercy. That, but we can say to Lord Nityananda that yes, I'm the most fallen, but in within and in practice we are trying to control others. But I'm the most fallen. And Lord Chaitanya will say, okay, I will give you. Then you can try, but humility is required and feeling fallen. That's what Prabhupada says in this purpose. Yes, sorry.
I have 3 questions.
Yeah, let's start with one. And let's see.
Maharaj, I heard one lecture of Raghunath Maharaj, he says, when you're at the age of 50, you're on the red line.
Yeah.
When you're at the age of 50, you're at the red line. So you have to practice everything and you have to be more Krishna consciousness, you have to practice. So you were saying the same thing, like simple life, like thinking, so the class of. So I want to retire my life at 50.
Now, you want to?
I want to retire my life, like my material, like my job and everything, at the age of 50. I'm trying like different things. I've seen different things. But the thing is, my question is like how to prepare my consciousness. Okay, I'm okay with the gathering money and everything, but I want to know like how can I prepare my consciousness to that stage. Now I'm 30, like when I reach 50, I want to settle everything and more focus on.
May Krishna bless you that you are still alive.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Mother. That's also there. Like, I don't know, like when I will die. I don't. My part of question is that there is also there. I don't know when I will die, but I have to prepare that consciousness before my death. Like, I don't know when I will die. My question is like how to make our consciousness, prepare my consciousness.
If you are not Krishna consciousness, we are like that. That's a fact. How to prepare our consciousness?
Easy.
That, yes, become a selfless servant in the mission of Prabhupada. That can pray for the mercy. That don't try to control others.
Yes.
Be a humble, menial servant. Krishna sees that. And engage in Srila Prabhupada's mission. That if you can, don't go in married life.
I can't do much. I want to be, but I can't.
Yeah.
Because my parents are not happy.
Yeah. That,
I understand like marriage life is like so many problems. You are taking so many problems, but I cannot skip it.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just saying if it's possible.
Yeah, I'm praying
That's
also.
good.
If Krishna wants, like maybe my parents will agree.
That's my Srila Prabhupada said all brahmacharis should remain brahmachari.
Yeah.
And all the Matajis, they should marry. That,
Yeah, that's true.
so, but does it happen? No. So we will see. But try your best to follow Srila Prabhupada's instructions in every stage of life.
Yeah.
Whatever you are going to. That's what in the verse says, Akama Sarvakama. It doesn't matter also. What matters is that you put Krishna in the center of your life and become selfless. But, yeah, second question.
So Maharaj, like I'm recently reading one of the book of Maharaj, Taking Care of Krishna Devotee. And Maharaj is saying like to establish the relationship between devotees, but the thing is, our relationship is based upon envy, pride, lust, because we're still having this thing. So that's why our relationships are not in a mature stage. Like, so my question is like, how we can have like at least like not mature relationship, like at least like a certain point of relationship, even though we have all these things like envy, pride, lust. We give some suggestions in that book, like what I want to know it from you.
Yeah, cooperate together in Srila Prabhupada's mission and tolerate, learn to tolerate and forgive. That and try to see each other as a spirit soul, not a body. If you feel envy, then that means body concept of life. You see the other as the body, which is quite impersonal. To try to become personal means see this person itself. That then is and see the good qualities in us. Good qualities, spiritual qualities. Try to recognize and glorify them. Then you will develop them. If you feel envy, you see the faults, you will develop the faults. That's not good. How can you get a good relationship? And in your relationship, try to be detached. Detached from your own expectations. That you should have the expectation of how can I serve this devotee? And be hesitant if they want to serve you. Don't become a sannyasi, then it becomes hell. Yes.
I am asking, being detached and having desire to fulfill, how can you make difference?
Well, it's sometimes very tricky that because detachment is a form of attachment. What we must have is two things. Proper consciousness in detachment means understanding everything belongs to Krishna, not to me. So I cannot renounce anything. If you say I renounce something, means you think it's yours. And that's inappropriate. Because everything belongs to Krishna. So the proper consciousness is, yes, this belongs to Krishna, not to me. And that's one aspect. And the second aspect of this is using it in the service of Krishna. So these two things should be there to deal with that, cultivate that knowledge and that vision. That will solve the issue gathering. Right? Does that help?
So knowledge is playing a very important part, whether we to choose what we want, what is good for us. We have to have knowledge.
We become purified by knowledge. That's what Krishna says. Vitaraga Bhayatara Manmaya Mama Pashta Bhavafokana Tapsa Buddhamat Bhavam Agata. Srimad Bhagavad Gita 4:10. Many sages have become purified from attachment, fear, and anger by cultivating knowledge. By knowledge, they became purified. And after being purified, they developed love for me. So it's through knowledge. And this knowledge is, Tadami Buddhi Yoga, Tam, Buddhi Yoga, transcendental intelligence. but that must be brought to the level of realization, must be realized. And that the realization comes when we please the Lord, when we please the spiritual master. So that's the process. I cannot add anything else to that. That's what we have to go through. That's the principle. Does that help? Okay, last question.
Sorry, yesterday you in the home program, summit program, you spoke about vicious circle. Like I didn't remember. Like we need mercy to get out of the vicious circle. Can you explain me again? Like I forgot.
Yeah, we are somewhat in a vicious circle because we are attached to things and we have material desires. But to get rid of these material desires, we must become purified. But to become purified, we must act without material desire. We must act purely to serve Krishna. And the material desires force us not to do that, to do something else. Therefore, to get out of this vicious circle, we must need the mercy of the Lord. It's the Dhammi Buddhi Yogam Tam. Yes, Krishna must give the intelligence, but only when he's pleased. And that is Anukampam, that's Krishna's mercy. So it's therefore we should chant the holy name of the Lord, praying to Lord Chaitanya first and Lord Nityananda for their mercy. And then cry out like a baby for the mother, or crying out for mercy. That's one advice which is there. Good, thank you very much. Counter, yes?
In this, the verses, it's explained that Aditi, they are in heavenly planets. And demigods, they have more knowledge than us human. And still they have said she was completely devastated not seeing the sunset.
It's not that in the heavenly planets, they have more knowledge. They may have so much knowledge, but no realized knowledge, because the opportunities for sense gratification is 1,000 times more than here. You said your first question is, are we ruled by these material desires? In the heavenly planets, everyone is ruled by these material desires, and it's much more forceful than here. Therefore, don't go there. Don't go there. That's the advice. Good. Thank you very much. Shantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.